Right now, let's talk with the executive director of America First Works, Ashley Hayek. Ashley, welcome to Victory News.
Thanks for having me.
Now, Ashley, you heard Tom Fitton and Mike Davis say this Trump indictment is going to backfire on Democrats and lead to cases against Biden, Pelosi, and Schumer and others. What's your reaction to that?
Well, there's a very clear difference between the Biden crime family and Donald Trump. Donald Trump didn't do anything wrong. The problem is what we see right now. It's a messaging game from the radical left. It's typical. They want to be the first one to indict a former president, and that's exactly what they did on charges that are not substantial, that are not true, that are false. What we do know is that there was a Hunter laptop. We do know that there were payments from the Chinese government to the Biden family. Those are facts. And so, their time is definitely coming in that regard. But this whole notion that we are going to take a specific action on something that is false, we don't have to take an action on something that's false, like they're doing against Donald Trump, because what people like Joe Biden and what Hillary Clinton did, that's illegal. That's actually illegal that we can bring charges against.
Yeah, well, that photo of him being booked will be everywhere. You know it will. North Dakota is aiming to educate students about the development of unborn babies to increase respect for unborn life. What do you think the impact that'll have on the teenagers of that state?
I think that is a very, very good first step. What we also want to see is legislation that shows that women have to have an ultrasound before they have an abortion. Right now there's a major push by Planned Parenthood. It passed in California where children, minors, can leave school to go get an abortion, to go get birth control, to get hormone therapy. And so if we don't start taking different types of action to show children and educate young people as they're growing up, we're going to have a major, if we aren't already, having a major cultural clash across the country.
Train them in the way they should go. When they're old, they won't depart from it. It's exactly what you're advocating for. Now, you heard the story of continued problems with illegal entries now on our northern and southern border. I want you to listen to DHS Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas still refused to admit to the problem when he appeared on 60 Minutes. Here it is.
The chief of the Border Patrol, Raul Ortiz, testified before Congress that some areas of the border are in a crisis situation. Do you agree?
I think that we face a very serious challenge in certain parts of the border.
Do you view what's happening right now on the border as a crisis?
I view it as a significant challenge.
Why won't you say the word crisis?
Mayorkas said he won't say crisis because he has tremendous faith in the staff and the Department of Homeland Security. Do you think the feeling is mutual, Ashley?
He should be impeached for his lack of effort on the southern border. I think the Border Patrol, they're trying to operate with one hand tied behind their back. Chad Wolf with America First Policy Institute recently put out a statement in an op-ed basically calling for military action along our southern border. And I think at this point, that is exactly what it's going to take to stop what's happening at the border. We're seeing fentanyl coming across the border. We're seeing human trafficking coming through the southern border. And we have an administration that continues to do absolutely nothing about it. And it is wrong. And he should lose his job because he is completely neglecting his responsibility to his office.
Yeah, if we had that kind of job performance, we'd all be gone. But apparently not in the government. Lieutenant Governor Winsome Sears of Virginia appeared on HBO's Real Time with Bill Maher and plainly explained what parenting is about. Here it is.
I get to decide what happens in my child's life. Not you, not the government, not anybody. I don't co-parent. If I don't want my child given lap dances at school by a drag queen, I don't want it done.
Right.
That's happening.
Ashley, as a mother, is she asking too much of public education to focus on education and not sexualization?
The public school system has completely overstepped. We do not co-parent with the government, but that's exactly what the teachers union wants to do. They want control over your children. They want to indoctrinate them with their leftist propaganda. They want to shove socialism and communism down their throat. And they want to take away basic education that these kids need to have. We are behind academically right now as a nation. And now more than ever, we need to get back to competitiveness in our schools and our academics and reading and writing and math. And we are doing a great disservice to our future generations if we do not get control of this issue.
Yeah, and you can't blame it on on COVID whatsoever. The BBC is reporting CDC staffers who conducted house-to-house interviews last month in East Palestine, Ohio, near where the train derailment site was happening. They're reported now coming ill with the same symptoms, including nausea and headaches that residents reported. So are things really as safe as the federal government has promised they are?
It sounds like they're lying, and it's so sad. And those people have been completely neglected by the government. The American people should be outraged by this lack of response. We have Transgender Awareness Day. We have all of these visibility days, but you have a population that has been so drastically affected, and no one in this administration is even acknowledging them. It's terrible.
And Joe Biden still has not gone there as of yet. Ashley, thank you so much. Back to you in just a moment.